Start point, JCB Wrexham, JCB transmissions. Let's do this. So about 2.5 miles in now, approaching the village of Holt, which is right on the border of England and Wales. Obviously England and Wales being divided by the River Dee, but it's not too bad. The scenery isn't too bad at all. It's quite clear at the moment, no rain, cars very, very few and far between. Just coming down basically a couple of farm tracks and different things like that. So nothing off-road at the moment, but the village of Holt is just across there, so it shouldn't be too far away now. And I believe Holt's got a few historic relevances, a few historical landmarks, so hopefully we can get a few photos of them. Yeah, first 2.5, 3 miles, not too bad at all. So we're now in the village of Holt, just inside Wales. The River of Dee is actually just there, which is the boundary between England and Wales. But I've took a little bit of a deviation off the route because there's something that I saw on the map that I wanted to come and have a look at, and it is Holt Castle. So Holt used to have a castle back in the medieval times, and the remains of which are here. So that is the remains of Holt Castle. Used to be a grand castle back in its day. The remains of it, I couldn't not go to it really when I was walking past. So I could not miss out on it really. Let's see if we can go in any way, or if we can just get up closer to it. Obviously there's many advantages to building a castle right on the boundary between England and Wales. If anything kicks off, you're the first to know about it. You're right on the boundary. So unfortunately quite a lot of it, as you can see, has already fallen down, but what is left we're obviously trying to preserve. What a grand place. It is a absolutely gorgeous village of Holt. If ever you're this way on, I'd definitely recommend having a look. Looks like we can actually go on top, so some steps there, so let's see if we can. Bit of an information board here by the looks of it. Shows you a little bit about it, the drawbridge, and the layout of the castle itself as it would have been. So let's go and have a wander up these steps and see what Holt Castle has to offer in terms of a view. So we're roughly around about 3 miles in now, 3.5 miles in of the first day, and it is a grand view. So that is the River Dee down there, which is the boundary between England and Wales. So we are just on the Welsh side still. Here, another information board. You can see how grand it used to be back in its day and what sort of position it would have held in its location. Absolute grand place. So yeah, we'll carry on a little bit and hopefully we can crack on before the weather gets too wet. At the moment it's still holding out, no rain at the moment in time, so let's crack on a bit and see how we get on. So just leaving the village of Holt now, as you can see, River Dee, both sides. Just walked over a bridge, and now there's a sign coming up which welcomes us to Farden, or Farndon should I say, and more importantly it welcomes us to England. So We are now on English soil. No border control or anything like that, which is good. Haven't even got an in-date passport, so that will be a bit embarrassing, but that's the relationship between England and Wales means that we don't need to. So that's always good. So let's carry on with the English side of it and we'll see how we get on. So the scenery's changed again. Just west now of a village called Coddington, which is going to be the first point at which we have a little bit of a rest. But won't be spending too much time resting, trying to crack on as much as I can with the weather being not too bad. We've had a bit of a rain shower just, but nothing too detrimental. So you can see there's quite a lot of surface water knocking about, obviously from the thunderstorms last night that we all had, and also from what's falling today. So it is drizzling now, but nothing too drastic. So we're going to try and make some good progress and get to this village of Coddington before it starts absolutely chucking it down. So next time we need to go through this field here. So not yet encountered any animals in any of the fields I've been going through, but there has been quite a few electric fences we just have to watch out for. One of the footpaths that were actually marked up as a footpath was blocked by a metal fence, and that had also got electric cables attached to it, so I couldn't touch that. Put a piece of grass on it before I attempted to touch it, and sure enough it was live, so stayed well clear of that and found an alternative route around it. But yeah, overall not too bad, making good progress, probably around about 6 miles in so far. Obviously the first day is around about 15 miles, so roughly getting up to about halfway through the day now. Like I say, this village of Coddington should be around about the halfway point. Lovely little duck pond in the middle of this field. A couple of ducks on it. Have a little bit of a closer look. Ducks just flying off. But yeah, you can see the ripples on the water. It is raining a little bit heavier now. It only really started raining when we reached the English border, which was a bit of a funny scenario, but it was nice in Wales, but now drizzling in England. Always the case in England. But yeah, let's crack on and see how we get on reaching Coddington and having a little bit of a rest there. As you can see, walking through a field which is normally quite dry, I would assume. The footpath actually supposed to go straight across and meets at that gate hole there, but we've had to go round because there is that much water on the field that as soon as you put your foot down you end up going straight in it. Now you'd think that was some sort of brook, but in fact it isn't. It is just a field edge, obviously something that the farmers dug out to try and get some of the rainwater off when it has downpours, but it is an absolute swamp. In some places that I've walked through, you put your foot in it and your foot just disappears. As you can see, the amount of soil that are on my boots at this moment in time. A little bit of a challenge, but we've got through the field. Hopefully this should bring us out onto a road now, this fence, or at least some sort of path. There we go, we've got some sort of path, so hopefully a little bit better on foot. We'll get through this gate now and then we'll see what the rest of it's like. So we're currently at Coddington St Mary's Church. It's a little bit raining now, but we're more than halfway through the first day, so that's good. We're just having a little bit of break here. Just got a stone out of my shoe and tidy up a couple of things with my laces, but other than that we'll start cracking on in a minute and moving on to the final leg of the first day. So we'll probably have some dinner in the next village coming up, and from there we'll move on to Bickerton, which will be our stop for the day, Bickerton Village Hall. So Lovely church, quite looks like it's been renovated quite recently. Coddington Church, so lovely church. I'm not trying to make too much noise. It looks like there's a Sunday service going on inside, so I'll keep you up to date when we move on. So a little bit of a change in the weather since we last spoke. A few moments ago I was at Coddington, about 20 minutes ago now. We were at Coddington, sat outside the church, having a little bit of a pit stop. Nothing too much, just regaining ourselves a little bit. But since then, we've had to walk all across these fields in quite a heavy downpour. And we're just going to head through some of the hedgerow. And hopefully nothing too drastic gets caught on our bags. Nothing left behind. One of the poles has come unstuck, so we'll have to just sort it out. But yeah, we've been making decent progress, even though the weather's changed and it's gone a little bit heavy now. But helicopter quite low there. Just find some coverage under this tree while we just sort our bag out after it got snagged on that branch. But yeah, making decent progress. We are roughly just west of Coddington. Just west of Clutton, which is going to be our next village. Coddington we've just gone through, so we should hopefully make Clutton, which is just down there. You can see the main road there, where that wagon's going to go past in a minute. You can see the edge of Clutton is through these farms, so hopefully we can find some shelter in the village of Clutton to try and have some dinner, because after Clutton the final push will be towards Bickerton Village Hall, which will be our stop for today. So hopefully we can dry off a little bit, find somewhere a little bit sheltered in the village of Clutton, Chester, and we can go from there to Bickerton Village Hall. So hopefully we'll be at Clutton in the next 10 or 15 minutes, and I'll keep you posted on how I'm doing in that time. Just thought I'd video this bit because I'm just coming up, and what a beautiful forest to walk through. Absolutely beautiful. It's still raining quite heavily. We didn't find anywhere really to stop in Clutton itself, so we started moving on. I might actually have a sit down in this forest somewhere if it's covered a bit. What an absolutely beautiful forest. This is definitely something that I love about these walks. The different environments, different places that you get to see. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, let's carry on. So hopefully you can hear me okay. We've had around about an hour now of really heavy rain, but we've just carried on going through and kept on going across the fields, which are extremely waterlogged in places. Just carried on going to try and get to the finishing point for today, which is Bickerton. We haven't actually stopped anywhere for any dinner, mainly because of the rain. It's been really hard to try and find somewhere that's shelter. There's been a few different tree forests and stuff like that, but nothing that gives us enough shelter where we can actually stop for a break. And we're now approaching the A41 Whitchurch Road, which is the last major road we've got to cross for today, and then we'll be heading towards Bickerton Village Hall. So not too long to go now, probably around about half an hour until we get to the end of today, but we're getting there now. Not far at all. There is the A41 which we've got across, and we should be across it in the next sort of 10 or 15 minutes. Just catching my breath back a little bit now. The rain has started to slow down a little bit, which is good, and hopefully we can make some good progress in this last stretch and get it done for and get back in the warmth. I'll see you soon. So we're just walking through, just gone up quite a big hill to be honest, and then we're walking through Broxton now. This place here is the former home to James Bond legend Roger Moore. So Roger Moore used to live here when he was cast to play James Bond. I believe now the owner of Iceland now owns it. Yeah, that's his Broxton Old Hall. So that's a pretty cool building. Lovely, lovely building. Obviously dating back some years now. But that is Broxton Old Hall. We are around about half an hour, 45 minutes away from Bickerton Village Hall. So I'll give you another little update when we get there. See you soon. Hey everyone, there is Bickerton Village Hall. We're approaching it now. That is the end of day one it will be. Been quite a difficult day due to the weather, but I expected nothing less. Obviously it's supposed to be a challenge, so it certainly has been in the first day. Well, let's just do these last few steps and get to Bickerton Village Hall. So we're here, we've made it. Bickerton Village Hall, stop of day number one. So really wet day, a really difficult day in many ways, but still 5 more days to go. 15 miles in now. Let's see how we get on tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Tune in tomorrow.